What's up, Lucian? Welcome to the cooking stream. To be honest, I actually like doing these telethons randomly, even though you won't see this much anyhow when my parents come back home. So why not do it right away whilst I'm home alone? Today we are going to be cooking a nice British steak. Now, you may be thinking, fuck me, that is massive. Yep, this is the Big Daddy. You get these from, I think it was Aldi, if I recall. Yep, Aldi. Now, I always say, go for a steak where you actually know that you do enjoy. Don't go for something that you do not know. And I know that the Big Daddy steaks that Aldi sell are the best things to have. And I always like to do this. Bad boy! Joking. It's just their steaks are really, really good and they're top notch and it's worth the money. That's what I would say. But anyhow, what I'm mainly going to be doing is a very, very thinly sliced, chopped, big bulb of spring onion with thinly diced, sliced, minced, whatever you want to call it, of mushroom. I'll show you the techniques and everything. They're pretty much easy, simple as anything. I'm going to show you, so possibly if you guys want to try it yourself, you can do it along with me. If you guys are pretty much got nothing to do today and you want to cook with me, follow me. So it's just a bit of fun for me, but like I said, I'm cooking for myself because I am. So if you want to learn on how I do my stuff, go ahead and follow my rules. Follow how I do it. Now, as you guys can see, that the bulb is not at its best shape. That's because it's not an old one, just to let you guys know, it's not old. It's just that it has dirt. Now, of course, a lot of people would say clean it. Yeah, truthfully, you can clean it. But the best thing to do as well is to demembrane it from that first layer. That's all I could say. Just membrane that part. And just get yourself a new layer underneath. It's the best thing to do. Easy, straightforward, no hassle given. Now I'm just going to go ahead and move this lot and throw it into the recycling vegetable bin for animals. As you guys know, pretty much with what I have, I recycle all the vegetables that I don't use and use it for animal feed. On the point where... But anyhow, best thing to do, people, see that stalk there? Don't cut it all off because that's where the releasing of the what you call it, the acidics, you know, the aroma of the onion that makes you cry. So only trim a little bit off, but not all of it. And what I'm going to do here as well, I'm getting rid of this bit because I don't want it today. That's all I'm saying. I'm not using it today, so that can go straight to the animals. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to cut the bulb like that. Keep that to the side for a minute. I'm focusing myself to music. Yeah, focus yourself to music. Oh, fair news then, Lucian. At least I can entertain you with a bit of cooking. Like as usual, everybody knows that too well. Now, some of you may be thinking, what is really the onions really for when you're just making a steak, pretty much a steak dinner? And you may be thinking, what am I actually putting the steak with? I'm pretty much getting my old classic McCain chips, air fry it, okay? I am not doing that bullshit that everybody says, oh, use proper fresh potatoes, make your own chips. Nah, it's a load of bollocks. And if you guys want to do it, go ahead and do it, but be warned, it takes a lot longer than you think. Because remember, you have to blanch the potatoes first, and then you have to parboil them and all that bullshit, and then you have to go ahead and put them in the fridge to firm up a little bit, and then after that, you got to go ahead and fry them first. That takes some time. You then have to drain them, cool them down again, and then fry them again, and rinse and repeat. It's fucking annoying. So, I would highly recommend not to do that shit. So I'm just going to put that onion to the side of the plate there for the minute. And then split the big bulb onion. And then what I'm going to be doing here, I'm just going to be doing an old classic French style way of cutting onions. A lot of people would know how to do this if you guys have been to culinary school, like I did. I went to college doing catering. Now, pretty much what I've done, I've actually gone ahead and slitted the onion downwards, and then I'm going to cross it that way. So it actually makes it like diced onions. It's a lot easy. And then you just go for it. And like I said, don't go inwards. If you do that, you're pretty much going to be crying all day long. I would highly recommend not to do that. And then, of course, if you can't get the grip of the onion, that's perfectly fine. Just tilt it to another section, and that means you can get a grip of it again later on. And there you go. And that's the only bit I'm not using. Everything else I've just used. And I can show you then on how thinly it is. Okay? Look at that. Very small. Easy. Even a blind person can easily do it. And you may be thinking, bullshit. 100% truthful, people. Watched MasterChef USA. That was an insane episode. A long time ago. Okay. I'm going to do it again. And then again, slice it sideways. Pretty standard and simple. And then dice again. There we go. And that's, once again, another half of another string onion. Nicely, finely diced. Now, if you really want to, you can go ahead and start mashing it in here as well. If you really want to, you can if you want. I don't mind one way or another because it's going to be used either way. I want to quickly clean up here. Now, you may be thinking, what is really the onion really for? Now, some of you may know exactly what I'm going to be doing. Some of you may not have a clue what I'm doing. And that is known as a old classic Japanese / anime related scene, if you guys have seen it before. And that scene is from an anime called Food Wars. And I know some of you guys may be thinking, you fucking weirdo, it's not true. A lot of it is true. 100% is true. I learnt it from one of the best chefs I ever worked with. The old classic legend himself, the old goat himself, Mo Doho. He's now sadly officially retired. I trained under him for many years through college and through other catering businesses. And he's a true legend in the catering industry. What's up, Chloe? Welcome to the stream. How you doing? So, pretty much, as you can see, you get yourself green part, and you get the white part. This is pretty much for flavour. This is for breaking down the enzymes of the steak, which I will show you in a bit. But first off, mushrooms, one of my favourite things. Now, how I'm going to do it, because these things are quite large, I'm just going to pop off the actual stems and have a bit of fun with yours whilst I get this lot done. The stems, you can get rid of them or you can keep them. It's up to you. I don't mind. So I'm going to be doing this. Just nicely, finely dicing, finely chopping the mushroom stems. Because the actual stems themselves has a lot of fibre. So if you guys are like low on fibre and you can't have things that you're not allowed to have, mushrooms is the best thing to have, especially the stems. Worth having, people, very much so. Okay, Time for the mushrooms. Oh, you're moving over to Sweden. Very nice. Well, hopefully safe travels to you, Homer. What's made you decide to move to another country? Okay, so I've done two different types of slices. I've done normal slices like this, and of course with the stems, I've done it like this. Now you may be thinking, why have I not gone ahead and diced this lot up? Because these will shrink. The more you shrink it, the more you're cutting it, the smaller it's going to be. And it's not very good if you do that. What I'm going to be doing now though, is banging it in the bowl. It's just going to be a lot easier for me to work with in a bit. So I'll go ahead and smush it all in there. Remember people, this is just prep work pretty much. If I did this off camera, I'd do it a lot quicker. I won't be talking to you guys, but it's a stream. I prefer doing it with you guys. It's a lot fun, and I like talking to you guys a lot. Okay. Next up, it is time for the steak. Now what I'm going to be doing, now a lot of chefs and culinary schools will teach you as well. Never use the same board. If you're at home, it's up to you. But the best thing to do is they're wasting all of your produce. Of course, you can get coloured boards. Best thing to do though, have one side for your vegetables, flip it. That's all you need to do. So that means you know now that this side here is for your steak. Now, of course, I can go ahead and change it to a red board, but as you guys know, I would not go ahead and make more mess, okay? And make more shit business for myself. So now let's get the steak underway. Is it fresh enough? Moo! Oh, the fucking vegan's gonna kill me for that. Oh my god, do I give two fucks? Not really. Now, a lot of people love to have blood on the steaks and everything, but do you know what it does? It actually catches very much, and it can actually oxidize the actual steak whilst it's cooking. So the best thing to do, what I'm doing right now, I've got myself a special tea towel cloth here, which is paper. I'm taking it off the plastic. I'm going to throw away the plastic, and I'm actually getting rid of the excess blood. So it's a lot more easier to work with, and it's less messy. So all I'm doing, I'm just pretty much massaging my meat. Give your meat a good old rub. You know what I'm saying, people? Okay, and I'll show you so you can see the excess. There's the excess blood. So pretty much removing that little bit of blood goes a long way, okay? So understand that, people. Now I can go ahead and start using my normal chef blade, but I don't when it comes to steak. I go for the small one. Now you may be thinking, what the fuck is this knife? This is actually a pumpkin carving knife. But I've had this thing since I was back in the Midland Hotel. So that's probably about 2016, something like that. And I've had it with me since. And what I'm going to be doing, a lot of people may think I'm freaking nuts about this, but I'm actually removing the fat of the line. Now you may be thinking, what for? I use that instead of oil, okay? It's actually is a lot better. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim it down to the side. There we go. Easy, there you go. All that fat there is going to be my oil. That's my oil right there. Okay. Now what I'm going to be doing here, I'm going to split the steak into two. I'm going to trim it up a little bit, just so it's a bit more easier to work with. And then of course, the excess of this meat will go, of course, to my beloved dog, who loves raw and cooked meat because she's a canine. So she'll probably get some of that in a bit. But anyhow, besides all that, how is everyone doing? Has everybody had a good day at work? If it was shit, let me know. I'd like to know what you guys have been doing. Have you guys been playing any video games or anything like that? Have you finished a game recently? That's one thing I'd like to know as well. Unless you're just having a nice little holiday break from college or from school, if you guys are younger enough. And all that shenanigans. So, got the steaks there. What I'm going to be doing here now though, with this block of fat, is trimming the meat off it. You may be thinking why? Is because that actual meat will actually suck up the fat, and that means no oil for me. So I'm just trimming it all up, so it's a lot easy for me to work with later on. Well, in about 10 minutes. With that down, use the back of my blade. There we go. There we go. Go. A little bit more meat for Bella later on. Okay. Now you may be thinking, I'm just going to use the whole entire piece. Absolutely. What I'm going to be doing though is scoring it. You may be thinking, why scoring it? I can either score it, I can easily stab it if I really want to. Either way, it breaks down the fat tissue. You break down the fat tissue, the oil will come out even quicker. The fat juice. And that's where I make myself my classic beef oil. So there we go, just stabbing it a little bit as well. And you can see it there then. It's starting to fall apart already. And like I said, people, this is not A5 Wagyu beef, Kobe beef, whatever you want to call it. But this is just as good as that if you know how to do it correctly. Which I do. I've learnt it too many times for many, many years. Okay, that's about right there. I'm going to put that staying on the board. Now what I'm going to be doing here, I have the onion, the white onion. What I'm going to be doing here is massaging it on the actual steak. Like I said, the onion has a very strong enzyme in it which breaks down tissue. And it's like same thing with our tissue. If you like, let's just say a carnivore, a cannibal, if you want to call it, mixes us with onions and all that lot before he cooks us, it'll break down our fatty tissues and all of our meat tissues and everything. All our tissue will be broken down quite a lot. So this is what I'm doing it for. So of course, I'm doing it on both sides very nicely. I'll flip it over as well. Same again with some green. The green as well is not as strong as the white bit, but it still does the good old trick. See already, it's already breaking down the tissue. It's already becoming soft, which is good. Remember, these are big, thick steaks, people, so they will take some time to cook. You won't really taste the onion though because it will break down. And before I cook it, I wipe off the steak with the onion. You're not to be threatened with. It's not too bad. What's up, 48? Welcome to the stream. So I'm going to go ahead and place them onto the plate there, just so it's good to go. I want to actually put the fat there, just so I can transport the chopping board to the cleaning area, just to clean it up a bit. There we go. A lot easier there. Go ahead and clean that up a bit. So, what's everybody's been talking about? Dojima 3, the god himself. Speaking of which, what's your guys' thoughts of the Yakuza series getting actual Netflix / Amazon Prime adaptation? Freaking cool, isn't it? I'm looking forward to it massively. Okay, now it's time for my favourite part. Releasing the stress. Oh yes. Now, if some people who do not like waiting a lot, i.e. myself, go ahead and put it in the bag. Close it up. Here's a Kamen Rider. I fucking knew you would be happy with that. I'm going to close the bag up. And beat the absolute shit out of it. Booyah! Whew. And that's what I call tenderized. Quite a lot. Like I said, people, if you guys don't like onion, it's perfectly fine. Just don't do the onion bit. Just start tenderizing it like a freaking barbarian. It just breaks down the meat. That's all it does, okay? So that's that sorted. And now we're almost ready. Awesome. I've also removed a bit of the onion already off it, which is good to know. But it's already broken down, which is fantastic. And now it's time to start cooking. Let's move the camera around so probably you can see me a little bit more. There we go, a little bit more there. Goody. Stove on. Moving the little knife over there. Waiting for the heat to be at its right temperature, people. Because the lower it is, the longer the fat is going to render. You want it to be just about right, not like sizzling like a flipping barbaric, like a flipping maniac. Just enough small sizzling just for the fat to actually melt. That's all you need to worry about, and that's all you need to concentrate on. So, yeah. And also, as you guys know, I did say to you I'd get chips. McCain's Classic Finest. I just put paprika in it just to give it a bit of spice because I like my paprika quite a lot. Smoked paprika as well, really, really nice. All I'm concentrating with you on this channel, on this video, is just the steak. What temperature? 6, 4? So, it's around about, on the knob, it's around about a 5, not an 8. So, at least that's fine. I'm just going to put my hand there just so I know. It's about almost right. Yep, there we go. It's not a strong sizzle, it's a very quiet sizzle, which is good. I'm just going to lower down the temperature a little bit. want to get myself a new plate here for the steak to go on top of it just so it can rest. And as you guys can see, no garlic. Nope, no garlic, not today. There we go. Get the air fryer going, get that heating up and everything, which is perfect for myself. Now as you can see, it's already started to melt and you can already see the oil seeping through, which is great. That oil is going to be my best thing to have when I'm cooking steak because it's so much nicer than just using oil. Because oil doesn't have a flavour, it's just there for cooking things quicker and thoroughly. So how's everybody been doing at the minute? What's up, Stephen? Welcome to the stream. What cooking lesson will we doing today? Classic steak with chips. Classical. Old classic. Good old British grub, you know what I'm saying, people? Good old British grub. Okay, now, as I'll show you, it's now darkened. You don't need that now. But you've got a lot of oil in there now, which is the best thing ever. Now, I'll give you a fair warning. It's going to be smoky, okay? But that's what you get when it comes to steak. You want it smoky. Close that door, open the window. It is perfect. It is ready to go. So, without further ado, move this over to there. Keep the oil there. Time to get myself my little tiny cloth, like I said, right at the end. So wipe off the excess onion. All I'm doing right now. The last bit of it. All you need to do. Some onion can stay on it, or you can have all of it on it. It's perfectly fine, it's up to you. Mate, I want to take some of it off just because I don't want anything to extremely burn and I don't want it to pretty much, I don't want to fart badly tonight, okay? Jesus Christ, people. Onion with me is like a freaking time bomb. I'm not joking. And the last thing to do, salt onto the steak. And the classical black pepper. Okay, oil back on, heat up a little bit. It's still going to be hot either way. I need to say something. Paprika is on the chips. I don't put it on the steak. And here we go, let it cook. Time to move the chopping board. Don't need the chopping board anymore. And all I say to you is now, do not mess with your steak. If you go ahead and mess with your steak, if you mess with your steak, like prod it and move it around all day long, you're going to have a very, very, very tough steak. Let it cook itself. Cook it for about 6 to 7 minutes on the side, then flip it. I mainly like to try and go for a rare to a medium rare, but to be honest, I eat at any type of temperature except for well done. Well done, I think it's fucking gross. Checking the side of it to make sure nothing's catching. Let's check on the chips, how they're doing. They're almost there, which is great. Okay, I think it's been around about time for myself. Let's flip it. Ooh, they look nice. Very good, very nice. Hello, chicken nugget. Hello, for some banana. Well undone. No, well done, mate. Fucking burnt. More like. When somebody says, like this thing, we always had this in catering. Somebody says it's burnt, you argue the tits out of it. When somebody came up to me and said, Wes, is this burnt? And I say, no, it's caramelised. It shuts them up because it's like, don't ask me, you should know yourself. Now, I'll give you a technique and everything to know how to test if your steak is done or not. Okay, so see this palm here? So pretty much this part here on your palm is actually tells you about how good your steak has been cooked. So now, right here, well, as you can feel it, it's between blue to rare. Then it goes to rare, medium, well done. So the further you go backwards to your pinky, it's more firmer. The less firm it is, that means there's more blood and it's a more redder into the meat. So, best to do, don't be scared of touching the pan or anything, people, because what are fingers for? Burning. So that's around about a rare to pretty much is a rare at the minute. I can't say my ass for fuck's sake. Chips are nearly done. Now, when you know the steak is starting to like move from rare to medium rare and everything, the blood will start seeping out of the meat upwards. When you see that, flip it. Let that blood cook it from underneath. The way I'm going to do it right now, I'm just going to move one of these steaks to the side, but the other one goes to the other. Just gives it a bit more time. Hours work, Chloe. Almost there. It was shit. How shit was it? How bad was it, to be honest? Was it a lot of customers or was it just boring? Steak's almost there. It was dead. Jesus. Okay, the first one is done because that was actually quite thin. The other one though, it's quite thick, so it needs a little bit more time cooking. Then after that, what I'm going to be doing is to clean the pan, get it nice and cleaned up, and then cook the mushrooms just a little bit. Okay. Let's clean the pan and everything. Straight into the water. You want to make sure you cook down that temperature right down before you start cleaning it. Okay. Okay. Okay, that pan's now cleaned up, ready to be used again, which is going to be in about 2 seconds. So the steak is now resting, which is good. And whilst it's resting, the actual blood itself would either seep out if it wants to, or it stays in, but then it starts to firm itself up, like turn it from a blood red to a pink, which is what you want. But I'll find it out when I cut into it, or when I touch it again. But putting the stove back on, and what I'm going to be doing here now for the mushrooms is a little bit of oil, only a little bit. You said did I say that I wasn't going to use garlic today? Boy, I'm one fucking liar. When it comes to mushrooms, you gotta have garlic. Bang that on top. There we go. Very good. There's my trusty spoon again. And in they go. Now, a lot of people would like to have mushrooms with peppercorn sauce and everything, but if you guys don't know me, I'm not a person who loves sauce, okay? I'm not a person when it comes to having a lot of wetness in my food. It's something about it, I just don't like it, okay? So understand that for me, alright? The mushrooms are already starting to wiltle and start to suck up all the moisture they can and release in it. And I can smell that beautiful earthiness of the mushrooms now. I love chestnut mushrooms. I love them to death. Okay, I'll put that to the side from the stove. I'm going to double check with the steak for myself. First steak looks like it's fine, but I'm going to find out by just cutting the edge off for myself. Oh yes! First steak. Perfection as always. But let's see about the fat one. Well, I've done it, people. And like I said, the enzymes of the onion has broken it down again. And look how freaking tender it is. Super tender. And you might be thinking, Dobbsy, does it taste like onion? Nope. It tastes like steak. That's all it does. Easy. It's that easy, you can easily do it yourself, people. It's just a bit of confidence, no stress, simple, easy grub. And all I'm doing right now is just letting the mushrooms cook a little bit longer, just to release the moisture out a little bit more. Alright, it's time to fry it up. Okay, so first off, kill off the heat. I put the mushrooms a little bit underneath. On top. Now, like I said, this is the amount of liquid that's left from the steak, okay? You can get rid of it, or you can use it if you want to. You can make a little tiny au jus if you really want to, but I don't really care about that. Next up, the last little bit of the mushrooms. Beautiful, earthy chestnut mushrooms. And then the nicely golden brown, texture like sun chippies. Ooh, chippy chips! Chippy chips! Right from the air fryer. And that's what I call steak and chips, people. Classic British grub. You can't go wrong. Beautiful. And like I said, people, I seasoned the steak. The chips were already seasoned with the paprika, and the mushrooms was already seasoned with garlic. That's all you need. And the last things I need, people, is my good old classic steak knife, my good old trusty fork. So let's go ahead and cut into the steak just to show you properly. Literally like butter, people. Thanks to that mushrooms. There you go. That's a good medium to medium rare, people. Oh, hot. Let's get a bit of mushroom in there too. Get the double whammy in there. No, that's not a double whammy, a triple whammy. I did it again. So, that was my stream for today, people, for cooking. If you guys want to know more about the steak and everything, and if you really want to tell me on how to make it, we watch the video, people. I'm not going to give you a fucking recipe. It's fucking rocket science. And if you guys want to cook with me in real time, and if you guys live near me, i.e. you, Chloe, or Chris, if you're watching, come on down. We'll cook together. We'll make something nice. With that being said, the people I'm still going to see you guys subscribing. It's time for my tea. Cheerio! I love steak. Fuck off.